Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with Justin, the king of EVs. How many cars are you up to right now?
It's like 200 almost on the dot right now.
200?
Yeah.
All active? You have a couple inactive?
There's some inactive. That's like the active number I want to say is like 199 or 200
Okay.
on the dot. We have like probably 14 to 15 inactive.
Okay.
But it's various. Like some of them are going to get tolled outright. Some of them are just like small things, usually insurance based.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you just had 200 inactive.
Not 200 inactive?
Well, they just got delisted.
Oh,
They're back up now.
Yeah, we have a couple. Some of them were like tire claims. It varies on the day.
Do you want to talk about that thing that happened?
Which one?
How they all got deactivated?
Oh, I don't know yet. No, see, like, I asked our Turo rep, I'm having a meeting with him today, how like all of our cars got kicked off in like 5 seconds. When did I call you? It was like maybe the 5th day of the new year, right? It was like a Sunday night. I'm just like hanging out, eating dinner. I was literally making burgers, and my phone just starts going ding, 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 ding.
You got an email for every single one?
Every single one. It just starts blasting off. And I'm like,
200 cars deactivated all at once.
all at once. I think at that point it's like, it's like 190 and some change, whatever it was, but like all gone right away. And I'm thinking like, first I'm thinking, okay, what happened? My first thought is like a renter said we did something absolutely crazy, but like there's no factual truth to it, and they just like, you just instantly take their side kind of things. That's how Turo operates sometimes. And I called one of the, like a Turo guy I know that works there, and I asked him, I was like, what is going on? And he's like, I have no idea. I've never seen anything like this in a long time. He's like, I would have known at least something's going on. People are gonna
This is your Turo rep?
No, it's not our Turo. I couldn't get a hold of him, so I had to call a different guy who works there. And the CEO got a message like within 10 minutes on Slack, being like, hey, do we know what's going on here? Because apparently there's like tiers to Turo, and there's like the highest is tier 4. Did you know that? I didn't know that either.
As in like management?
Like who can touch your account?
Oh.
And supposedly, if you're a tier 4, only tier 4 reps, like a power host rep, executive support.
Is that the highest?
Yeah, can touch your account. So it avoids like someone overseas doing something wild and like
this.
Like this. And I still haven't gotten final confirmation. The first email we got was someone from overseas support, like saying they're delisting cars. And
what was the reason? What did they say?
They said we have those overlay photos. We have the last 4 of the VIN. That's what it was. But we got permission from an employee from Turo like a long time, like over a year ago.
When you initially got it, did they delist it and they said that?
Like, that was that initial email was saying that, but like it was from like we like on our account supposedly we have like notes where it's like, hey, we got this formally approved. That's how we had all the last 4 of the VINs, because it's impossible to decipher like which car is which from like Turo's. Like if you get an email, it doesn't tell you which car it is. You have to like go through and like
because you have 80 Model 3s that are all
we have
gray.
80 Model 3s are the exact same color, exact same trim, exact same photos on Turo. Like, so we had like the last 4 of the VIN and the number on the bottom corner. So it wasn't even like absurd. It's not like we're like saying this is a long range or like free supercharging or whatever.
It's just so you guys could find the keys.
So we could find which car it was when it got booked. Because the Turo didn't tell you before the recent update. Didn't tell you which car it was from the booking page.
It does now?
It tells you what the license plate is.
Oh, okay, that's huge.
They used to have nothing though, remember?
It
used to just be like a log of just for us it was nothing. You had to go in and click in, go into the rental agreement to figure out which car it was.
That's crazy.
Which is not an efficient way to figure out what car it is.
So they delisted it. They relisted it pretty quick after.
It's in like 4 hours. Like I knew nothing bad was actually happening. Like I knew it was just like an annoyance. After I talked to I don't want to say his name, I would say he was pro us, and like you could argue whatever was going on was.
From you just calling the Turo number and pressing number 3 or something?
I didn't do that. No, I called like a guy I know that like was.
Oh, you know somebody that works there.
I had his cell phone. Yeah, I just called him. I was like, listen, I know it's like 8 o'clock at night, right? So I know it's late at night. Can you help me really quick? Just figure out. Let me diagnose the issue, right? So I don't have to wait until tomorrow morning to figure out what's going on. And like I said, he said he messaged the CEO within like 10 minutes, and he was like, hey, from our side, we're not seeing anything like you've never. It's like called an ATA.
Okay.
It's like a flag. You did something bad on Turo. Never had one. I don't even. Not quite sure. I'm probably it's like blatant breaking terms of service.
How do you get one of those and then they just pull that?
Well, I think you can get 3. I think they get a 3-strike rule.
So you were at 3 strikes. You would hit. They thought you hit 3 strikes.
Well, no. That's like the hypothetical. Like he asked me, he's like, "Have you ever had an ATA?" And I was like, "I don't even know what an ATA is." And obviously, I even asked our rep when I talked to him like 2 days ago. I was like, "We figured out how this was." They still haven't given me like a final like battle report of like how this was even possible. Like they haven't given me like a real answer. And I was like, I don't care what it is. Like, tell me if you made a big mistake. I just need to know what happened so that I can make a decision if it's worth, like, do we make it 100% of our focus to go off Turo? Like, seriously, because that's my initial thought. It's like, how are we going to let a one-off person, potentially an overseas employee, which is nothing against overseas guys, but it's like a guy who probably has no idea who we are, dictate if we can run a business or not.
Yeah.
Like, how would that happen?
Yeah.
You know? And if they say it's like, hey, it's a one-off issue, I can live with that. If it's a systematic issue, I don't want my well-being being decided by a click of a button.
Yeah, that's sketchy. I mean, I wouldn't want to have to think that I could get kicked off that easy at any time.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, in a situation we are, say like something did happen, you guys got to learn how to communicate.
Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
Someone call me if something did something wrong. Like, have a conversation. Like, we can barely get a car towed right now by Turo, let alone if something like serious is happening. Like, who's gonna call me? Some like, I'll never get communication if something bad really happens. I guarantee it.
Why wouldn't? Yeah, I mean, with the ETAs too, why wouldn't they tell us?
Supposedly they
get
will.
one?
They will reach out. I have zero. I asked him, I was like, do I even have any? And he's like, I don't believe so. I don't have any. I was like, okay.
So they'll call us if we get one?
Yeah, supposedly. But I mean,
And then so if you have one, do you just fix it and get it off, or is it on
I
it
think
forever?
it's just like a permanent strike. I think it's something like, to get one, from my understanding, that's like insurance type of fraud, or you do something like blatantly against the rules. You like maybe you're someone who does exotics in Miami and you only have cars listed on Turo just to cancel the bookings and you get flagged for that, something crazy like that. I'm assuming that's where you get one.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what it stands for. I know I don't have one. How is this even possible? You know? So yeah, it kind of was like makes me think about the next steps.
Yeah.
How to actually operate. How good of a fit can it be long term?
Yeah, what's the long-term goal?
We have a call today with them. I just
Turo?
want like, give me the how and the why.
Yeah. What do you think happened?
I think it's as simple as someone was, I think the person, I forget what the car was. Yeah, so first of all, the flags happen. I know this for sure. It's other Turo host. They see it.
It was another Turo host?
The only way to get reported is someone who's logged into the system, I guess on the host side, supposedly.
Okay.
So like people will see the last 4 events, and it's somebody just like, I hate this guy has 200 cars, report. You know, seriously, that's like what it is. Like they say they have like a log of like when people report your stuff, right? So I'm sure it's just somebody just constantly reporting our stuff because they're like, if I could get this guy off of Turo, I would be doing so much better. That's not how it works. You would still be doing poor.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing to do with how your cars.
Well, like that one guy is like, why can't I see my car? No, he thought his was the top and his favorite it or something.
Yeah, someone was in a Facebook group chat and they're like, I can't find any of my cars except for this one. And the rest of them are this EV Access guy or this Justin guy. And it's like he's scrolling, it's like the first 10 cars are ours. And at the very top, there's like a 2012 like van. And he's like, but for some reason this one shows up and he's got it hearted. So it'll always show up at the top. And somebody in the group chat was like, yeah, man, that one won't be at the top either. That was just a favorite. And we're
so
like,
funny.
all right, that works. But
so why do you think yours are higher than everybody else's?
well, I mean, if you ask your rep, they'll tell you what the algorithm is.
Yeah.
Like it's simple. You need your photos, you need your description, you need free airport delivery, you need an offer at least for unlimited miles or a high mileage offer, and then it's price compared to value of your car. So like one advantage we have is we have a lot of newer cars when it's super slow, like January. Like I don't think our cars rank the highest when it's busy season. I think we've ranked more in the middle actually. We don't want to be the first cars on the chopping block. You know, we want to be somewhere in the middle. But like, there's not enough demand in January. I knew this going into January. I told you what?
Yeah, you
October,
warned me.
September. I said, lower your prices now for January. It's a bloodbath in Phoenix. Yeah, and I was like, just if you set them slightly below still adjusted price, your bookings that you'll get 3 months ago in January, like we're still getting some bookings at like the $80 a day for the Model 3s. And like, we have another one coming up here soon that we have to like swap. The car got, I think it's a guy who has a managed car. And he's like a one-off person. I think he's moving, so the car's going back to him. I forget what the actual reason is. He could just be taking the car back. He could just be giving me a bullshit story.
Yeah.
But we have to swap the car. But he has a booking for like $110 a day on a Model 3. We have to swap it on Turo. Wow. And I'm like, we're contemplating, do we wait until the last minute to swap him? Because it's like the first weekend of February.
Yeah.
Like, or do we swap it early? If we swap it early, we risk the chance of losing the booking. So like, I'm like, I really don't want to, I think it's half, like, you know, January 26th to February 3rd.
Yeah.
Like $500 a week on a Model 3 in that time period, it's a good week.
Crazy.
It's a good week to have. So I'm like, trying to figure out how I want to handle that. But that booking came in like September.
Wow.
They came in like a long time ago. And like now the bookings are getting like $40 or $50 a day for Model 3, which is low.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's either that or the cars will sit.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the Turo chats? It's my cars haven't moved in 3 weeks. My cars haven't
people are
moved
dead in
for
the
a month.
water.
Yeah. So part of that's the algorithm for Turo for sure, but they have to lower the prices or they won't compete with other rental car companies.
Yeah.
So, and that's one mindset. The other mindset is the people who are using Turo probably won't even check Hertz anymore. Like they just are Turo users and they'll just see what the prices are and take it at face value.
Yeah.
I'm curious at how much shopping around happens once they get logged into Turo, once they're active users. Like do they go around and shop around just on Turo or do they check out Hertz?
I would bet majority don't even check around anywhere. They just create their pricing based on demand. And then like the amount that actually go off of Turo and Hertz and Enterprise, like very small percentage. I mean, probably little to none, I'd guess.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at Hertz price right now, $29 a day.
Dude, Hertz is able to fluctuate like crazy.
Yeah.
But sometimes you look and their minimum pricing is like
$200 a day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They obviously have amazing systems to predict pricing. Like the busiest weekends in March.
Yeah.
Their pricing is broken right now for Hertz. Like it would be so expensive to get a car. It'll be like that when Turo's system picks up on it. I feel like it's not good at predicting future. Like it's not like going back like how busy was it last year?
Yeah.
And like staggering it. Because these January prices should have been low in September. Like it should have already been competitive. So anyone who was shopping around was getting those prices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we, do you know how like the business power hosts, like the performance benchmarks, have you ever played around with that? That tool, you know what I'm talking about?
What
on the
is
right
that?
side? Maybe about, I don't know.
Oh, you can look at your car's pricing versus other pricing and then
insights.
utilization?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I like that.
One thing that we were doing this month, just so you can tell which cars are actually listing, how they rank actually on there. Have you noticed that? Page views. So what I did, we were doing.
And then even like
conversion rate.
Conversion rate, yeah, that's huge.
I don't even like care about the output number. Obviously, if it's above 2%, it's good, right? But like some of our cars have like 100 views. Some of our cars have like 3,000 views. So like, why did the same exact car, one of them, get viewed so much more? So I like want to go through and like, hey, is this listing perfectly optimized? Does it have 18 photos? Does it have the offers correctly? Do I need to add a discount so it shows up a little bit higher? It just needs, because they're all new cars, right? All the new cars we got. So I'm like playing with that now, like making sure that those cars are well optimized.
Interesting. Do you think a view means them like looking at it or clicking it?
It's someone seeing it when they scroll through.
Oh.
That's all it is. Yeah, because there's a click button also. I think like.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's just a matter of like how many times are people getting eyes on it. Like you're telling me some of our cars, they're the exact same ones, have a 10x or 30x higher view rate. Then I need to make sure that those ones that are low either are optimized even more better in pricing, or like make sure the listing as a whole is set up correctly.
Yeah.
Because it should be in the thousands of views.
Yeah.
Especially like any given month. It can't be like 100 views.
That seems crazy low.
It was super low. Yeah, I think it just got buried in the algorithm. So either like, we could relist the car or delete it. It has no reviews yet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, how did it get? It's the exact same car as every other car. What happened?
And I'm sure you have the same description, same everything.
Everything's the same.
Do you use the same photos? Why not?
Because it's the same cars. Yeah. Yeah, we just got that. We were literally working through that yesterday. It's like, okay, how do we make sure those like laggers by default go out? Like at least get seen. That's like the highest correlation. I think if you get 3,000 views on a listing, you're gonna be booked out 70+% of the time.
Yeah.
If you get 100 views, and you have a 2% booking rate, whatever it is. I mean, you're talking like 2 trips maybe. It's gonna be pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I want to go back to that. How many cars you're at? What did you start at the beginning of last year?
I was trying to figure that out. So last year was when we moved. Last September, like in 2022, we moved to that WeWork, right?
Okay. That's when you moved to WeWork?
Yeah, in September of 2022.
Okay.
And then we moved out of that in like 23 April, May.
Wow, that was quick. You weren't there very long.
We weren't there very long. I think when we moved in, so like we didn't grow much on that because we got the bolts in the first of the year in 2023.
Yeah.
So I want to say we were like 30 cars, 35, 40 maybe.
Okay.
Because then the big jump was getting 27 bolts. That got us to 60 right away.
Yeah.
Getting 14 Model 3s ourselves, that got us like 81. So that jump, we doubled in size in like 2 months, right?
So you were under 100 beginning of last year.
Yeah. Yeah, does that sound right?
I didn't know. I thought you had 100.
Well, when we did the interview, the
Yeah.
first one, what was that? That was when
That was, let's see, because you were at 100. I think you were like 100 around that time.
we could have already ordered them.
We were talking about it. It was happening.
Was it happening? That would have gotten us to the 100 mark then.
Wow.
Because I know when we left WeWork, I know this number for sure. So it just depends.
One year ago.
We were at the WeWork. Yeah, so for sure. I was at 100 when we talked. Because
see.
we were at the WeWork.
Yeah, I remember we were at
Yeah, 'cause it was the WeWork. We left there at like 90 and some change.
At 90?
Yeah, like 95.
Damn, so you're still small.
And that was like April of this year. I mean, we doubled
So
in
you've
size.
doubled it in 1 year.
In the last 6 months.
Holy shit.
Because that was like May.
That's crazy.
Because it's been, that's how it kind of works for us. I feel like we stay stagnant, add a car here and there, lose a car here and there from an accident or something, or like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then like we sold a couple cars to Carvana when they were like, it made sense to do that.
Yeah.
And then we get like this huge jump up.
So what's been the recent jump up, the past 6 months, what's that been from?
That's whatever, 90 and some change, 95, maybe 100 in that range. And now we're like, what?
Is it all it's all mostly investors?
Yeah. And now but we're about to do another buy because of the new tax credit structure. So
What are you going to jump up to?
We're at 200, call it. I saw what did I say the number was when it was active. I think it was like 196 active, 214 total, something like that.
Yeah.
Some more got listed from like tire stuff. So I'll call it 200 right now. Jeff, the other guy who he does like the sales type stuff, he thinks we're gonna be able to add 100 cars in the first half of the year. Again.
100 cars in the first half?
Yeah, because like the guys some of the people who buy cars for us, they're just doing it for like ulterior reasons. I don't like get into like the depths of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're building, there's a whole strategy for like why some of these guys buy cars, right? And we're shifting it towards, I don't think it's gonna be as much managed cars in the future that we talked about.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna take the payments over.
Oh, so you're going to do like sub 2?
Like a sub 2 type movement.
In a way?
Yeah, because they can go out and buy the cars. Like I don't get involved in the tax strategy at all. They can go out and buy cars, write those cars off, you know, they're a leasing company, whatever they want to classify it as, and we'll just take the payments over.
Oh, so it's not pre-existing stuff, like you have them go do it and then you take it over?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's how like the new ones, that guy.
Wow, that's pretty smart.
He saved like, I don't even know. I mean, the financial side was the CPAs, but like he spent 1.8 million on cars, right? And then his tax benefit, it's leveraged, right? So he's not actually spending 1.8 million. His tax benefit was humongous, $7,500 per car, plus whatever the bonus depreciation is on running up each individual car.
That's crazy.
Helps him, right? His setup is managed though, so we'll get paid $450 per car.
Okay.
But then we talked about, we were like running the numbers, doing a pro forma. There's a bank in California that was like, hey, what would happen if we got you guys? I said we could jump up another 100. They're like, what happens if we can get you guys 100 cars? And they're like, can you build us like a 5-year pro forma? What it would look like if you guys kind of grew in a linear fashion of some sort. And we did it one with managed cars, and I'm like, as Brandon learns too, it's like capping out your gains is tough. Car like only making $400 margin.
Yeah.
Like our base cost is like $180 a car.
That's cheap.
Parking, employee cost. That doesn't include insurance. That's because that passes on to the owner.
Well, yeah.
But like
that's
our
crazy
operating
cheap.
the car, I mean, we did the math on it, but our support system is, I would say, what makes it the cheapest for us.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, our overseas guys are $6 an hour.
$180 a month per car?
But if you think about it, that's $36,000 a month in OpEx.
Dude, that seems cheap.
Yeah, I thought it was be more, but if you think about it, it can't be much more if you're only making $450 a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do our washes in house. It's like I mean, are these all clean? Or are these cars about to get cleaned right now?
These are getting cleaned.
You're talking, if you were there at our place, 15 minutes per car. Hand wash, vacuum out, quick detail. If it has dirt on it, like extra, like actual dirt built up, take it to the wash. It takes longer, you know?
Yeah.
You're thinking less than an hour, like a half hour per car per week. That's how we gauged it. We were trying to figure out what's the actual time variant, right? Most cars average 5 trips a week, you know? So you need 1.25 trips per week. And if each trip's a half hour, you're thinking like 40 minutes of work per car. You can divide that by how many hours you have of payroll, right?
Yeah.
And then you have our insurance guy. We divide his whole salary, divided by number of cars we have. We have our building costs, divided by total number of cars. So we figured out like what's it actually cost to run every single individual car. And the more cars we add in one location, the number of parking, which is the most expensive aspect of that, goes down.
And that'd be your cost, your office cost.
Yeah, office cost, building cost. The only that doesn't include is my payroll, the sales guy's payroll, but it includes everyone else's payrolls because there's customer support in there. There is the logistics guys for check-ins and check-outs and cleaning. That's insurance guys. That's communications.
Wow. So how many people do you have? 6, 7?
Like 11.
You have 11 people?
Counting overshores.
Oh, overseas.
3 overseas. We have an HR girl that does contract stuff.
You have what?
HR.
For what?
So I don't get sued. I don't know.
You have one person just for HR?
Yeah, but she's part-time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's needed for sure.
I'm surprised you don't have like a marketing manager.
Well, that's what Jeff does. He does marketing, sales.
For the partners?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, he does both.
Oh, and for rentals? Interesting.
Yeah. You saw the new
that.
site, right?
The new site?
Check it out.
Let me see. EB Access?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I think it looks good. It's like simpler, more on brand with our photos instead of like just like default type
Do you
photos.
use any Tesla photos?
No Tesla photos. 0 Tesla photos.
Wow.
I think it looks clean. I haven't actually seen it.
You built this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is clean.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It's it looks good on mobile, in my opinion. It's simple.
You don't have about the team shot?
No, I mean nobody cares about us. I just want the cars.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
So, and then you just integrated HQ.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're the one that told me about that. Oh, you have all 3 of your locations here.
Yeah, there's the one on the bottom you don't have to like shout out yet, but that's new to come. I think I was telling you about that, right?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Is that happening?
Flying out soon to go meet the guy.
You want to fly out?
Yeah, I mean it's just like I feel like that kind of move, like I would say we're basically just trading cars back and forth, figuring out how each other systems works. Requires like an in-person vet, kind of figure out, jive personalities wise.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of risk of doing like shipping cars cross country and not having full control over the situation.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure like, what does this operations look like? Is it scalable to add 20 more cars,
Yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, the one in Boise and Salt Lake, those they're franchises almost.
They're like platform add-ons. Like we didn't really use the word franchise or use any franchise type documents. We tried to stay away from that. View it as like they own that location, but not as like a franchise. Like it's not a separate entity. Like they're kind of a part of us. They just own, their ownership is tied to that location's success.
But you still have control over those locations?
Yeah, and there's some autonomy. It's on their own path lines, like how they want to do it. I would say the Boise guy, one car right now, still he's like in the learning phase. Like, hey, what does it look like to run the cars? But it's a lot of work. And I think some people that's a wake-up call, like, hey, I don't know if I really want to be doing this. And some people it's like, I can see the vision still, And the Salt Lake City people hey, now our goal is like, hey, can we get them to 10 cars? They have 2 right now. And can we get 8 more cars to them in February, right? And that kind of creates a baseline, but like how quickly can they get to 20 or 30 cars? And they're asking the same questions. Like, it looks like we would make more if we just buy all the cars. You're right. I wish the banks would let us. Like it's not as easy than versus like the managed cars. Like, but we only make $400 a month. I'm like, I get it. Like I wish it was more,
Yeah.
But like that's like their learning curve. They're trying to figure out the very first questions when you're like, I could just buy all these cars and make all this money, but then the bank will start telling you, hey, you gotta buy this next one in cash.
So.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So it's funny seeing their like internal dialogue and then them expressing it to me like their first thoughts and feedback. Like their first month remember when you first list your car? There's like a lag period, right? When you list a car, it doesn't have future bookings, it's not algorithm yet. And their first full month was December, right? And they're like, our car did so bad. And I was like, it's first month. It's like, it happens. Like December was slow as it is, let alone being like a snowing area.
Well, and there I'm sure it is slower.
It was snowing, it's been like negatives and stuff, and it's been cold. I'm like, and then this month's actually looking decent. I think they'll like break even on this month, most likely. But it's like, that's the start. Like you say, you the algorithm, especially now, it's such a more competitive market. When we first got started, it was like, you'd list anything with photos of your closet, and someone would be like, I like the Rolls Royce, let's do it. It doesn't matter what you post, but now it's like,
yeah, it's very competitive.
It's gamified almost.
Yeah. What do you think about that in terms of? I'd call it saturation, because that's almost what it feels like. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, you could see in the new algorithm, they're definitely favoring new cars.
New cars?
I mean, that's what that guy was talking about. He's like, I feel like those older cars, like 2012 Honda Civics that people had in the past, and they could get $800 a month and kind of keep on clearing it. I think it's going to get harder and harder. Like, why would Turo refer to a car that potentially will have more issues? Like, if you go with like filter free Turo, it's all the new cars.
Yeah.
It used to be like you might find a random 2016 van tucked in there, right? I think that their algorithm is probably more important than saturation. 'Cause saturation, if you just are good at what you do, as long as you're the top 10%, it's somewhat irrelevant, right? Because then there's still 90% of people below you, and you're just dealing with the top 10%. But like when they change the algorithm, that can change how you run a system, right? Like I remember back in the day, and you'd go log on a Turo, all the exotics would just sit on top. They don't do that anymore. Like they don't just all sit there for every person to see. Like that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
You go log in, and it'd be like Lambo, Aston Martin, G-Wagon, and then you can scroll a bit, you'll find a Tesla, right? And now it's like you find a lot of Teslas out top, or you find like the newer Volkswagens. Like I feel like that's what you see. And it's always changed. It changed again. I mean, we don't really know yet the big change, but it feels like the people in that chat, you know what chat I'm talking about, they're all just talking about like it seems like it's only new cars on top now. And I think that will be an interesting change because I even see some of our older Model 3s.
That's kind of weird because I feel like Turo's biggest thing is let anybody into Turo, let like any regular consumer, but the regular consumer typically either can only afford, only wants to start with like a cheaper, older car. So if it's
Yeah, but then those cars, like if you're Turo, what's the average experience on a 2016 150,000 mile car?
standard, probably just I don't know, nothing
How many
special.
times does that car break down? How many times does that car have a flat tire? How many times does Turo support have to get involved? You know, like I would say like maybe call it 7% of the time. Like it's still rare. It's not like every time, you know, but call it 7%. How many times do you think we get Turo support calls on a brand new Tesla?
Probably not as much.
Tires. Someone gets a pothole, someone gets a nail. Like that's pretty much like they aren't just breaking down.
Yeah.
You know? So like their cost basis on those is much lower. They don't have to call the tows. They don't have to get their employees involved.
That makes sense. And I bet that, I mean, that's probably saves Turo's cost in terms of support and then their towing.
Yeah. Their overall experience is probably better.
Yeah.
Is my hot guess on that. This blanket keeps on falling.
I know.
Let's roll it down.
But that makes sense. Maybe that's where they're wanting to go is cheap prices, newer cars.
Well, I think they follow their traditional rental car companies.
Yeah.
If you go on Hertz right now, it's like $30 a day for a brand new car.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How have they been able to stay alive for so long with that method?
Well, it's a great. I think they do the best. I've talked about this. The low periods are like pretty important, making a good baseline. But like, you win and lose on the busy months. Like if you can make like people be like, I had a really good month. I made $2,000 on a Tesla. It's like no, you need to be making like 3,000. And like that's a good month on Turo in March, right? Doesn't happen on every car, but that's a good month. And Hertz is probably making on older cars. They're making that.
Yeah.
Right? With all their fee structures, they rely.
They're making so much money.
They rely on their busy season. It's like fully optimized busy season. Slow season, they just don't lose money. Just don't. And also, if you look at rental car companies, historically, they're not very profitable.
Yeah.
Like
very slim margins.
Very slim margins.
It's
as
like
is.
last time I looked, it's like 5 to 8%.
Yeah, it's
net margin
slim.
on gross.
Yeah. And so it's like as a mobility. So we talk about this. Like, how does that change? How is that even sustainable?
I don't know.
Probably not. Like
I'd be so worried about car prices because they buy them and then they only hold them for a couple of years and then they sell them or they ship them off to the other locations because the newer cars a lot of the time are in the airport locations and then the older cars you'll see at the other locations. But like if they're turning them around that quickly, I mean, they've got to be losing money.
I think they have much shorter term loans.
They have what?
I think their like payment, like their flooring plan's probably a little different. I'm sure their financing structure's not even recognizable to us.
Yeah.
But I think they sell when they are even on their value owned versus like equity, like how much they own in debt.
Oh, you think so?
Because if you don't, you have that recapture event on taxes. So they don't want to make money on the transaction when they sell it.
Well, I can't imagine they almost ever do make money.
They don't want to. Because
Yeah.
then all their write-offs and stuff, they have a recapture event.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Like I think when you see all these Teslas getting sold off by Hertz, and we could talk about that. I think you wanted to. I think they're just selling what they owe left, like what the balance sheet is in that car.
There's no way they're going to get what they. Well, I guess in some instances, but
I think they're on 36-month plans, bro.
36 month.
I think they're on a lot shorter terms.
Damn.
Because I mean, think about it, the biggest cost for them is interest, right? Like in that when you get to that large scale, like interest is, you don't want 72-month payment plans.
Oh.
It's just eating you alive. Like it
Especially if
takes
it's amortized.
your first 2 years, you
eaten.
don't touch the principal.
Yeah.
If it's a 36-month, you're touching the principal in like month 6. Like you're starting to break it down really quickly, right? So it's like, I bet it's a much shorter financing structure.
So
Just
Hertz,
a lower interest.
yeah. So Hertz they originally bought like 100,000, wasn't
I
it?
think they ordered 100,000.
They ordered.
I never saw anything that says they delivered 100,000 to Hertz.
Okay, now they're getting rid of 20,000.
Yeah, I bet they have like, I have no idea. I bet it's like half, if not more.
Damn.
But they lost. I mean, if you saw the reports, it's like they had logistical nightmare. Nobody knew how to track the cars. They had no customer education. Like all the people who rent from us, they're like, it's so cool. You guys came out here and talked to us, showed us how to start the car. You sent us the videos of how-tos. Like if we had questions, they were answered promptly, you know? And Hertz like didn't even give them floor mats. Crazy, you know?
They didn't give them floor mats?
Yeah, because the base model 3 doesn't come with floor mats. So they weren't going out and buying floor mats. Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Yeah, that is a weird
we
thing.
would go buy them off Amazon, but it's like the Uber rentals will come to us and be like, well, it's cool you guys give us floor mats. Yeah, I don't want you to completely destroy the car. You know? That protects us.
I'm surprised they didn't think about that either.
That's what I'm saying. I think they didn't really plan it out. You know, it wasn't like a long-term game plan on like, what's this look like in 5 years for them?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we need to get these EVs. They're cheap maintenance-wise, but they're expensive to repair. And I don't know how their insurance plan's set up, but my guess is they were losing a lot of moolah on the insurance claims.
And when they get cars in that quickly anyways, they can't, it's hard to create a process that fast.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen those, you hear those horror stories, the Uber drivers who bring their car back to Hertz and they have a $3,000 supercharging bill. It's because they were like billing at the very end. Like how many of those people actually had
supercharging?
Yeah, so like we pay for supercharging, right? And it gets we bill it weekly to our drivers.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so we clear out the balance sheet.
Wow, that's smart.
They were having people pay at the end.
Imagine waiting till the end.
They were paying at the end, or at once a month.
Some people probably couldn't even
They
afford
couldn't
it then.
So they just write off as a loss. Yeah, I mean, how are they collecting that money? Since collections, some of these guys have no money to begin with, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So it's like,
crazy.
I think stuff like that compounded. And like, even if it's just a supercharging mistake, like, one, how were they pulling supercharging? If they were pulling through Tesla business account, it's a manual process. It's not easy. If they had no software for that yet, they're just like, Hertz corporate, I'm sure, 3 months in, supercharging, they're like, someone got a report, they're like, hey, we have like a 20 million outstanding. We need to get this supercharging paid. And they're like, how do you pull it? Oh, you have to manually scroll through and find each car's invoice. That's how you do it on. Like,
what?
Yeah, it's not an easy way to do it on the Tesla business, unless I'm wrong. We use standard fleet, and you can go through and pull all the supercharging. It's a pretty simple process. You can do time frames, very easy.
And you could pay that periods.
You can send the bill to them.
There's no way they must have had something like that. Do you not think so?
That's why they were waiting till the very end. I don't think they had a system like ours is seconds, right? We just put the timeline in there, pull it out, gives us a number.
Pick a timeline for a specific car even? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, like our guys will just do that at like the check-in, check-out renewal time period, you know? And it's like, why would they wait till the end of a trip, first of all? And two, that's like a free loan. Like, we want to get ours collected. I think there's a company working on, it's called Blue Dot. They're working on daily reconciliation. So if you have drivers, you can assign them their supercharging rights, and they'll
charge them?
Yeah, it'll charge their renter daily.
I don't know why stuff like this isn't graded. I mean, EV's been out for a while.
I think people, like the larger scale issues, people just didn't even know they existed yet. And there's a couple people who had the foresight, like Standard Fleet and Blue Dot, and those people have the foresight to like start building something in advance, and they'll be successful in their own rights because of that. But even like Hertz, I think they just had no idea they're getting themselves into. Like they had app access after us. You know how we said app access? They had this little scan QR code. They probably had the ability to do that a year before Hertz. And you would think like it's like they figured out. It wasn't like a hard solution. I mean, David was awesome to help us figure that out, but like that was something we had way before Hertz, and they just figured it out recently.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they actually put in an order for 100,000. I wonder if they're still getting them.
No, you can cancel them pretty easily. There's no
can?
deposit on Tesla Business Fleet. I'm sure they got like, nobody was that upset. You order 100,000, you buy 50,000. Like Tesla's probably still like, we sold 50,000 freaking cars. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like the end of the world. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the total number was. I just have like seen people talk like I don't think they ever actually took all 100K. Like it takes a while for Tesla to even make 100K.
Yeah.
What was that? 2021 when they announced that? They could have. They might have.
2021.
There was enough time in there, I think, for them to get it. It's just a matter of like, did they actually take advantage of 100K?
Yeah.
Because I think the average renter isn't quite looking like the average one. Like you're thinking like there's a subset that won't touch an EV still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like only 7% of new cars sold last year were EVs.
Wow.
So it's like
7.
yeah, it's a small number. So you're thinking like I've talked about it's like it's right now is probably it will be one of the hardest times to run an EV startup. It will be like 5 years or 3 years from now where it's like this is like that will be the glory days when everyone's like the average person is now buying a brand new EV. They feel comfortable renting an EV and they actually don't even want to rent a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah.
They want the EV because like their hotel has free charging, their whatever the systems are in place more, and that will be like the average person will stop looking for the other cars. They'll just start like, hey, I want a Tesla, or I want a Chevy Bolt, or I want.
Yeah. And now the manufacturers are actually like all transferring over to. I mean, like Dodge is doing everything fully electric by 24, 25.
Yeah, 2025. Yeah, and there's
That's
like
crazy.
state regulations. I think, is it California? Google this before I say it
Probably.
wrong. Is it California? What's the EV regulation? New car production. It's either 2025 or 2030. But
For full?
yeah, for production of cars.
Oh.
Like I think they want all new cars produced in the state to be EVs or sold. Look up what it is. I could look it up too, I guess, if I even know where my
Let's see. All new cars sold in 2035 and beyond, 0 emissions.
Okay, 035. So that's a little farther out.
So
than I thought.
10 to 12 years.
Yeah,
Or-
and I think it's
11
like
years?
there's like stages to it, like 20% cars and then like 30%. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's like only 10 years away.
And full EV. I
Yeah.
mean, there's going to be like, this whole warehouse. This is a hybrid.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
emissions.
zero emission though.
Yeah,
it's
that's
emissions.
wow. So there's literally not a single
Like
car in this.
imagine 10 years, like it's gonna happen before that, like with the main majority of people. But like you're thinking, there's gonna be like this huge change of what the renter is looking for. When that shift happens, it's gonna be.
That's
I'll
crazy.
be very, very happy.
Do you think they'll make like a Dawn fully electric, a C8 fully electric, a
I think
488
they'll
fully
see
electric?
they are making electric, right?
C8?
Look,
What?
Corvette. Yeah, new Corvette's electric, right?
New Corvette.
Yeah, look up the new electric Corvette. We're just going on a Google search tangent today.
Let's see. 2024 E-Ray.
Yeah, I think it's the Corvette will transition to electric.
Dude, I've never heard of this. It looks the same. It looks
Yeah,
the same
I
as the
think it's
C8.
just an electric one. Yeah.
Starting at 104,000 MSRP. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Pretty quick.
Damn, that's fast.
Yeah, but I think
Holy
all
crap.
these exotic companies will have both. I think the 911 will still exist in a way that it has in the past.
Yeah. Because there's no way they can make, they can't make cars like that fully electric.
Yeah.
It just takes away.
This might be
Do you think they'll ever make 488s or Lamborghini Ferrari, whatever? Do you think they'll ever make cars like that fully electric?
I think they will. I think they'll make them electric. I mean, also, you're thinking Tesla's 1.9 0 to 60.
That's
I don't think
crazy.
Lambo doesn't want a 0 to 60 in 1. They can't do it gas. They've
Dude,
already proven it.
the Plaid is already so fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want that thing to be electric.
The Huracan?
Yeah.
Why?
Like I think people still want the gas, right? But the gas cars will never be able to compete like that. So I think
yeah. Speed, no, you're right.
Lam-
Quickness.
yeah, Lambo. I mean, like, imagine the drivability of a Porsche 911 and electric.
That's the 918. Or a hybrid at least.
Yeah, but like imagine 0 to 60 with the track ability of that.
Dude, that'd be
You're
crazy.
thinking absurd, you know?
Do you think they'll get faster than the 1.9?
Yes and no. You know how have you
Yeah.
ever seen Elon talk about that?
No.
I think it's the max speed with tire technology is the same that you can brake. It's your tire ability to slow down. So like if you can take off, right, and you can go from 60 to 0 and 1.9, that's your traction coefficient, right? Like your friction coefficient, whatever it is. So I'm gonna mess this up for all the physicists out there, but there's some correlation to the tire technology and
only
on
accelerate so
road
fast.
legal type tires, because the ones that are on the the launch tracks when people like try to race them, those have like flat tires.
Yeah. They're bold.
It's because they need more, like, it's higher density of like it has more, what's this called, like the space for it to touch the road because it's flatter. Like, like if it's pumped up, it's only like the bottom of the tires touching versus like if it's flatter, like there's more to grip the road on. So like that's one of the limitations. That's how they can go faster in 1.9, right? But like for these cars, I think it's going to require something extra.
Bigger tires, probably.
Like maybe tire technology is better. Like you gotta like also think eventually you have to keep the front end down.
Well, and think about when those cars accelerate, those race cars, the big tires, they like wobble a little bit. Like the way they move.
They're actually like flat.
Yeah, but they move weird. Like the wheel wells couldn't. It smashed out the wheel wells.
Oh yeah. So that's the biggest. From my understanding, that's Elon's limitation on that. Asterisk is you could go to SpaceX and you could put a semi-small thruster on the back, right? And the thruster will shoot it down, and that gives it, like, you probably have less control. You could do something like that, right? But I think like basic car. I mean, there's a lot of technology issues. Like how fast can you brake from 60 to 0 in 1 second?
Yeah. Well, how quick can a human?
No, that's not an issue.
What?
Fighter jets. I mean, there's no issue with that.
But those people are trained. Like when we did a takeoff
on the Plaid.
In your Plaid, I almost passed out.
No, it gives you a headrest for a couple times.
Dude, I literally almost I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I thought you were like
to me, that felt
exaggerating
dangerous.
it. No, you were like having a seizure.
Dude, it was crazy. I didn't know what to do with my body. It was weird.
It's the launch. If you put it in cheetah mode on a Plaid, I tell people this all the time.
Cheetah's
that's the way when it lowers the front end.
Okay.
I don't even think we did that. I think we just took off.
Well, isn't cheetah mode? Isn't it like it? You said it had to warm up.
Yeah, you have to put it in like track mode, and you put it in this thing called cheetah stance. You push on the brake and the gas pedal, and it will like lower the front end of the car to like get prepared to shoot off. And that's like where you see like that cool screen on the Plaid.
Oh,
where
when
like,
it's loading.
Yeah.
We did. Okay.
I don't know if we did that, but when you do that, one thing I told you, it's like you can feel your fingers like
pulling away.
Holy and that's what kind of makes me nervous. Is like if you're not perfectly straight, like you gotta grip that thing.
Yeah. Like
it's that fast, and it's like people don't understand. Like you let go of that handle, you go off, you're not catching that.
Dude, how do people that rent them not wreck them all the time?
Well, we cap our cars.
Oh, you have a governor on them?
Top speed's 100.
Well, it's 90. Not, dude. It's not about the top speed. It's about how quickly you take off, accelerate.
Well, and the current settings it restricts their top. Like it restricts their 0 to 60 also.
Oh, really? To what?
4.
Oh, 4?
That's so fast.
Dude, well, compared to 1.9, that's a big difference.
I mean, I think people don't even realize that it's governed. Like they just think, like most people, like people do call us out for it. Like
some guy.
Oh yeah. And I told him, I was like, hey, if you want to put a deposit down for the price of this car, I'll let you do that. And if they like, honestly, if they say yes, I'll just unlock it for them. That means they just want to test it out, right? But if they're like, why would I ever do that? I mean, they don't even have enough money to pay for it if they crash it. You know, I'm not unlocking that thing for you. So like, it's kind of like we'll unlock it from someone to ask, but most people have no idea. They'll come back, cars in like they call it chill mode or whatever, and they're like, that thing is so fast. I'm like, you have no idea. That's like,
that's so funny.
Zero comprehension of how fast that guy is.
That's crazy.
And they are. I mean, it's you blow by that Huracan.
They're crazy fast.
Yeah. You can feel it in your face.
Yeah.
Like you're.
It's almost
like it peels your
like
eyes
I said,
back.
It's almost too fast, and I don't know why you need to ever go faster.
I say the same thing. It's like there should be a license.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
an additional check.
Yeah.
You're telling me any Bitcoin millionaire with 2 brain cells can go out and buy that thing and take it out in LA?
Dude, it's so dangerous.
Terrifying. The kids, the TikTokers that buy them, I'm like, you gotta tell me, you don't think they're driving crazy?
Dude.
Insanity.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, I that keeps me up.
What happens? I wonder what happens to the car when you go that fast. Like, can the car stay together as far as long term?
No, yeah.
Quality?
We have a 2021 Plaid right now in the fleet.
How many miles?
20, 18.
Okay.
Not very many.
So it's young.
Yeah, it's young. I mean, the higher end cars obviously don't get as many miles on them.
Yeah.
No, you can the plastic pieces start getting a little squeaky. You hear those videos. That guy, like I think I saw a really bad video of like an original Plaid that was like he was touching stuff.
What's
and it was
original?
all
Like
squeaky.
2020?
2021.
Oh, okay.
And like for sure, like if you're just sitting there launching and you're like driving around like complete like dummy,
yeah.
You know, yeah, that stuff starts like being displaced slightly for sure, because there's so much pressure in that car. And you see like the little panels that get a little squeaky. It's like, because that thing wants to come out. That thing is trying to move with the power, like the energy, you know, whatever. Like, there's a lot of pressure on that. I've thought about that. I was like, people ask like, why do all these Model 3 performances, they're all these little squeakies? Because you have a guy who was just driving a Dodge Charger that goes 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. He just now bought a Model 3 Performance, and that guy is gunning it at every stoplight. You see those Teslas? They're just like, boom, boom, and it's like that car's that's why I think why the interiors are so shitty. It's like they need to. That's like, how do you even fix that? Like, how do you build an interior product that can take that much pressure? Like,
well, even long term, it just has to happen.
It's gotta get figured out.
Yeah.
Like the Huracan, does it have any squeaky stuff? Like from just the power of the car?
I don't know. I haven't noticed. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, we can check it out. We could like just push on the panels, and you can tell just like.
I love those videos.
Yeah, it's
but
like
there's a correlation between like how fast and reckless, really accelerating they drive in, I guess the force, versus how squeaky it is.
I don't know if there's correlation, but if I had to really guess, the people that have the craziest like interior squeaking issues are the same ones. If you looked at their Tesla, are just 0 to 60, 60 0. You know, slamming on the brakes. It's like going like the forces are going back and forth just constantly.
What's the fastest you've had a runner go in your car?
Before I remember it specifically. Before we started locking him, I've told you this story. The guy who had the wedding. I told you about that. The guy's going to a wedding. And I honestly generally don't track the cars. Like I've told you that. Like I will put the, geofence on. If it's going towards Mexico, we'll get an alert. We'll turn the car off kind of thing. Top speeds, we'll get alerts if it's above a certain speed, especially if it's not a Tesla.
What's your number?
Above 110.
Okay.
115,
That's
I think
fair.
it depends. Like
That's
the
fair.
i8 and stuff like that. I'll text them, We were sitting there. It was a Tesla. I think it was just a base Model S.
Okay.
Like a long range, so it's still pretty fast. I want to say their top speed's probably 150.
Is that how they? It's how they range of no P100? No.
Well, it used to be. That used to be like
so
performance.
They don't do that anymore, though.
100 was like the kilowatt size of the battery. D was dual motor, so it'd be performance 100 kilowatt dual motor.
Okay. I see.
The guy was going like 135, 140.
Damn.
At like 3 a.m. after a wedding in the middle of nowhere, coming back from like the outskirts of Arizona.
Like consistently?
Yeah. He was just booking, because and the Tesla app tells you the active speed. So I didn't get a history of that. I like went on my app and it was like 135. And
you saw it the next morning or the night?
I saw it that night because I got an alert that like I forgot what it was, like maybe Tesla will give you random alerts, and I like checked on it. I saw the car was in the middle of nowhere. The guy said he was going to a wedding, didn't really care that much, didn't even put 2 thoughts.
Was it near the border?
No, he was like in northern Phoenix, going back. He's like, how this is a wedding venues on the outside of town.
Yeah.
He's coming back from that, but he's probably drunk after a wedding, is my guess. 135, I see it actively. And I think at that time I still went out a little bit. I think I was coming back after the bars. So I was like probably feeling it. I started calling that guy. I was like, better freaking slow down. I was like, what are you thinking? Yeah, I left him a voicemail because he didn't answer. Dude,
voicemail?
I couldn't. I screenshot it. I sent it to Turo. I was like, this was early on. And that's when I was like, we got to cap these cars.
Dude.
This guy's going to kill somebody. He's going to kill himself.
Oh, 100%. 135 miles an hour.
Going that fast?
Dude, it's over.
Yeah.
They'll total the car.
And the assumption after a wedding, you think that guy wasn't drinking?
No, he was for sure drinking.
He was having a bad night too. No one's going 135 having a good time. Somebody wasn't talking to him.
Dude, that's
tough.
crazy.
Yeah.
Did he call you back?
I talked to him the next morning.
What did he say? Did he get your voicemail?
Oh, yeah. He was like, there was like spilled booze in the back, like in the carpet area. Got that cleaned out. He had like a chip in the rim. He just charged me. Like he was probably just a rich dude. He's like, yeah, just like charge me for the damages. We sent the invoice on Turo. You paid for it. But I was just like,
he said nothing about the voicemail?
I think we talked about it. He's like, sorry, whatever, just enjoying the car. And then I think he tried to argue. Oh, so he didn't tell me he didn't drink, but I vaguely remember him saying it was a Mormon wedding. And I was like, that means that people getting married weren't drinking, but that means nothing for you. Like he was like beating around the bush. But I don't know. That was my scariest experience of me thinking that that was early on. I didn't know worst case scenario, Turo covers that.
Yeah.
Like honestly, that's like how I view it somewhat now.
That's true. I mean, if something happens, even if he kills somebody, as unfortunate as that would be, Turo would be the one
If
liable
there's
for that.
one comment, I've tried it a million times. Insurance process, solid. Like that's the one biggest plus. If they can figure out a product for themselves to offer to the host, Lula will go bankrupt. GMI's gone.
For sure.
Gone.
For sure.
You think they're big as a ride-sharing company. They'll be the biggest insurance tech company in 6 months.
100%. They could take over everything with their policies.
Yeah.
100%.
That's probably a risk.
I guess, but that's your thought on them doing the private stuff.
Yeah, and then they can price their insurance product better because they'll know what the actual cost is for stuff. They can charge people more if they need to. They can have their actual out-the-door price be more reflective of an actual rental car company because they can price it better.
And they can fix their fucking deductible.
Yeah, well, the deductible still needs to be there.
Well, not $2,500.
That's a commercial deductible.
That's a commercial deductible?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lula one on our expensive cars is $3,000.
$3,000?
Yeah.
Dude, I think ours is like $1,000.
Yeah, for cars less than 65,000.
Yeah, that's what it is. Cars less than 65,000.
But anything above, it's like $3,000 deductible. I agree. There should be a deductible plan based on the value of the car, and maybe they'll come up with that. But like our Chevy Bolts, it's hard for us to put those in the 90 plan because we've almost never have anything that costs $2,500.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I actually was going to talk to our guy about this today. I don't even know. Like sometimes, like, do we file? Like we file when there's damages. Like, there's no fluff claims, right? But I'm always nervous. They're gonna be like an insurance company might be like, hey, you've had too many claims this year. Like, is that a thing on Turo? I don't actually know.
Probably not.
But like,
they could drop you.
I would say we underclaim. Like we try to go through the renter's insurance all the time. Like my guess is our claim per, like our payouts per car is low, like way low. If I had to take a shot.
Through Turo?
Yeah.
Not the CEOs.
No, I'm not going to mention it.
I told you about that.
I'm not going to talk about it. I will not even mention that. But rumor has it he has a huge payout on insurance.
Big payout.
My guess it was one totaled out car.
Somebody put a screenshot as I think it's public, but somebody put a screenshot and it was like his host earnings for the CEO was like $40,000, and then his payouts were like $90,000.
I think my guess is he had like a high end car. And got
I know that's what you thought. That would make sense because all of his stuff was high end.
Yeah. I think that's the most likely.
I'll take his one.
One total. Yeah, there's one that's being held up right now, but it's
You have a claim being held up?
It's not Turo's fault though. Car got in an accident on the interstate. Renter got towed by the city of Phoenix because it was on the interstate, right? Got like sides, like a semi kind of pushed him against the median barrier.
Yeah.
Car goes to his tow shop, but the electric cars, like the car has to be on to track it kind of thing. So the last location we had was on the interstate. You have no idea where
it doesn't track it past that?
Well, it has to be on, and the battery got flipped off because of the accident.
It shut off?
It shut off because they do that to save so it doesn't catch on fire kind of thing. Like the battery will like default. If it's anything's wrong with the system, it will just shut off. Long story short, we figure out where the car's supposed to be. Turo goes there, they send their investigator to pick up the car. Car's not there, right? Okay, they'll pay us out. They're going to pay us out a total out fee, okay?
A total?
Yeah, because they can't find it stolen at this point, right? They have no idea what's going on. It would have been told regardless, by the way. This car was, I saw the photos of it from the towing company, just trash. I go to sign the power of attorney. It took them 60 days to determine that it was a total loss, right? So there was a time delay in there because they were looking for the car, waiting for the tracker to turn back on. Nothing's happened.
60 days, that's not bad.
So go in there, we get the power of attorney, go into the DMV. I'm like, let's get this signed off, we'll send the power of attorney over to Turo. They can take, whatever they'll take if they ever find the car's ownership kind of thing. Go in there. It's registered. Someone else.
What?
Yeah, I didn't tell you the story.
What? No.
Yeah, so we're working through with we had to get a lawyer involved and stuff.
How do you get it?
So the tow lot, if a car's left somewhere, there's an abandonment process and they can take over titling.
What?
But it's fraudulent in this situation. So they sold it to somebody else. So some other random person titled the car and was driving it, and they probably got it fixed enough, but it showed up in our fleet software. And
But how would you not be able to track it at that point?
It is now. I see where it's at now. Yeah. So long story short, we see it's active. I just hadn't even noticed that it was moving. And I see that, but the alerts on the car, the dashboard alerts are it's like a Christmas tree. It's telling us.
You can see that on your...
Yeah, on the fleet software. It's telling us all these things are wrong with the car. So whoever got it turned on, rigged it up to just make it turn on. It wasn't fixed, right? And I'm like, well, somebody was resourceful, but two, that was fraudulent by the tow company.
100%.
100%. So there's a process. I think they're really getting close to it. They got the car titled into our name originally now.
Oh my gosh.
And we have to title it over, power turning it.
Is it still gonna be total loss?
Yeah, I mean.
Damn, why you should have just let it? You should have said, like, whatever. You should have let it. Could you have let it go?
No, because we still need the payout to the lender.
Well, yeah. Oh, I didn't know.
But now I have to still get the title back into my name so I can power of attorney it over to Turo.
Oh, I see.
That was the issue. I went in there.
because you didn't have a title.
I didn't own the car in the state's eyes anymore. So
Dude,
they had
that's
to,
crazy.
we had to file all these fraudulent paperwork to get it back into our
Well, I
name.
wonder what the guy thinks because he probably just thought he bought a Tesla.
And they asked me, they're like, why don't you just go to the guy's house? You know where the car is? And I see where it's at. It's in the ghetto also. It's in a bad side of town. And I'm like,
I bet he got a real cheap Tesla that
100%. And I was like, my guess is he has no idea it's happening to him.
100%. Oh,
100%.
there's no question he doesn't
no
know.
question the guy's going to buy an electric car and think he's going to get away with that system, you know? So I was like, my guess is just an innocent guy, needs a ride, you know, it's on a super bad side of town.
Yeah.
He's just making it happen,
Yeah.
right? They got the car turned on somehow.
So after Turo pays you, will Turo get that car?
Technically the insurance, yeah, they take the salvage car. I think they're going to probably go get the car. Like,
They know where it is?
Yeah, we still have a tracker on it.
Oh, are you going to tell Turo where it is?
Yeah, thing's crushed.
Probably going to need to send a SWAT
I mean, it
team
got
to go get
fixed, whatever, but like,
Dude, the guy's going to be so confused.
100%.
He's like, what the fuck's happening?
The second question is, tow shop. You're telling me, so either it wasn't in your logs or the owner was actually being fraudulent. I think also, let's do good merit based. Mostly likely they just had a bad system in place. They couldn't find the car on the lot. It's a small car. It could have been tucked in behind a different car. It was totaled. The photos I saw, the whole side was crushed in, right?
How did you get, because you should be getting a tow report. You own the car, you get a tow report from the MBD.
Yeah, we got that. That's how we got the letter. That's how we knew it was supposed to be there.
And then you called them and they said they didn't have it?
Turo sent their people to go get it. They couldn't find it there.
Oh,
that
I
was
see.
the issue. And then they were like, okay, well, it's not here. Where could it possibly gone? They were trying to figure out. The actual guy who towed it was like, dude, I dropped it off here. Like, I'm like 100% confident. And like they did a walk.
You never went and looked?
I never went personally, but Turo has their own investigative team. I was like, they'll figure it out. I probably could have gone, but what's the difference? Am I gonna find it if they couldn't find it?
Yeah.
Like, they have a guy that's job is to find it.
Yeah.
And he was like a former police officer too. I remember him telling me, like, he's like, if you know where it's at, you gotta tell me. I'm like, listen, if I knew where it's at, I would tell you. I want paid. I was like, I want you to find it just as bad as anyone else.
That's so funny.
And he was like, that's his job to be suspicious, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do either. I was like, what do you want me to do? Just like,
that's crazy.
Find this car. It's probably in the bottom of a lake, is what I was thinking. I was like, something crazy happened. When that thing turned back on, I was like,
wow.
we were talking to lenders. I was like, I got bad news. We've been paying that payment this whole time.
You were paying the payment
We
though?
still have to.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're gonna get the payment paid off.
Yeah, but I was like,
is the difference pretty good?
I mean, now it is because we kept on paying down payment on it. Yeah, I mean,
But it's been, what is it, 3-month process? 4 months?
Dude, this thing happened in June.
Oh, in June?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until September we found the process of it getting a fraudulent retitlement done from the state.
It's been 7 months.
It's been
6 months.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it's been a while. The initial incident, but like the chaos happened like 90 days later when we realized like they marked it as totaled and all that stuff.
Wow.
It's been a little while.
Are you getting a good payout in comparison to what you think the car's worth?
It was more than what we had owed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good. We were gonna in the moment we were gonna get like $2,000 back.
Okay.
So like,
make $2,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was brand new almost. I mean, that's okay. We'll take that.
Yeah, that's huge. Any type of money on a new car like that, that's huge.
But now it'll be more because we paid so much more into it.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
No.
No?
I couldn't believe it you ever been to the DMV and you own a car? No. And they're like, I can't even tell you anything. I don't even tell you who owns it. They told me the guy, we work with this guy all the time. He's a super cool guy at the DMV.
Yeah. You are the DMV or the MVD? Is it a third party?
No, you guys call it, it's in Iowa, it's the DMV, the MVD, whatever.
But it's like the actual state governed?
Yeah, that's where you go to do the titling and stuff.
Oh, we go to the MVD, it's like a third party thing.
Oh no, we go to the
crazy fast.
Yeah, well, you can't do that on new cars. When it's a new, 100%.
Like brand new?
Brand new registration, you have to go. It
you
can't
sure?
be 1,000% because I would go through those. I do that for re-registrations all the time.
Okay.
If it's a brand new car purchased in Arizona, you have to do it at the state proctor places. So long story short, though, we get there and the guy's like, we schedule a call. Like I schedule my meetings when I go there, so I don't have to spend 3 hours there, you know.
Yeah.
And I skip the line, all that stuff, and like the guy's like, Usually I feel like he bends rules for us if we needed it. You know, like he would check something up, like make sure it's all taken care of right. He's like, I can't tell you who owns it. I was like, he's like, but I can see you owned it. I was like, oh no.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was bad.
How did they? So they must have forged the title or something.
No, it's the abandonment laws of Arizona for a tow yard. They can take over titlement if no one claims it.
Dude, that's
And that's what makes me think that it was fraudulent on the.
Well, it must have been because they
You're
showed up
telling
to go get it.
You can't find it, and then conveniently you retitled it and sold it.
That's crazy.
I don't know. If you found it and you realize you found it, why didn't you tell us?
Dude, that's, I mean, for a tow yard though, I mean, I bet they're making tons of money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just on the, dude, like to have a car sit in a spot for a day or two after it's getting towed,
Depends who
so
tows
expensive.
it. If it's a DUI, if you notice, you go to that All-State City Towing, it's like $35 to get it out, $45.
35?
It's the city, I feel like the city contracted places have the max rate or whatever.
Yeah.
If it's like an accident,
Yeah.
where it's like the different ones, those ones can be pretty expensive
Oh,
to get
dude,
out.
they're so
Yeah,
expensive.
but like the All-City Towing one in Tempe, you ever had go there to get a DUI car back? It's like not that expensive. You get it out the next day. It will add up if you let it sit there, but we will go there very next day or the day
Yeah,
of.
we
We'll
always
get it
do
out
too.
within like hours.
Dude, I've got a car the next day and it's been like $300.
Yeah, that's like private. That's not
Yeah.
like city contracts are not that expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a private tow, not cheap.
Dude, they get their money.
They get their money. Yeah,
It's crazy.
kind of crazy, honestly. I think there's a max fee though in the state of Arizona.
For all towing?
Storage per day. It's just a matter of how much it costs to tow it there.
Oh, well, I'm sure some follow that and some don't.
Yeah. I think they're just a little sleazy sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're just nice to them though, I mean, also towing people, you see people going out there huffing and puffing their chest, and I'm like, being super nice. Like sometimes, like you need to have a power of attorney for most cars.
Yeah.
But we don't. They're good with us. They recognize, they know the business.
They
'cause
know you
sometimes-
guys?
Yeah. Because like there's cars that we don't own. They're managed cars, right? The guy lives in Washington. Like, let me just give you a document that this guy says it's okay. I'm not like I won't throw it under the bus, but they're very helpful with being like they understand what's going on. They'll get us out versus us having to wait get a signed, notarized power of attorney from somebody that's in New York.
Yeah.
And that's gonna take 6 days. It's gonna take forever to get that guy figured out and get it over to us, right? So like they've been really
That's
good
good.
with us.
That's
We're
nice.
also listed on a couple of the LLCs for like when we help them make it, you know, like the organizer.
Yeah.
That shows up if you look up. So if you're the organizer of the LLC to help
Yeah.
them make it, you can get the car out. I've noticed.
Yep. Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't. I mean, I'm on it, so I always get the car.
Just get it out. Yeah. They look up the LLC, any
They
name
always
on it.
they always make you look it up. Usually we've had a place make us bring a printed copy.
Yeah, see,
They wouldn't let
that's
us
what I'm
show
saying.
it through the
I've
phone.
had issues like that, and they're like super pain in the ass. These people are like, just show me that you should be the person picking up the car. And like non-legal terms sometimes.
Yeah.
Like call the guy.
Yeah.
Like, let me ask him his date of birth and his, social. They can like whatever verify. Send me a photo of his ID. you
Yeah.
know? That's a gray area transaction, I think, but that's like the way it should be. I mean, they know I'm not just picking up some random car.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And how do you even know what car to pick up? How do you even
Yeah.
know it's there?
I'll give you the spare keys. Go grab it.
Dude, once I showed up to that DMV or the tow yard, and the lady's like, "So you can go get it, but I don't have a key with it, and I can't let you back there to because we had a VW keys. We have like 6 VWs or 5 VWs, so I showed up with like 8 keys. And I'm like, okay, I said I can't go back there. I'm gonna give them to you. So I handed her the keys, and she had to go do it.
Yeah,
wouldn't
they
let
go
us
grab
back
it.
there.
They won't let you back there.
Weird.
No, I mean, that's a prison back there. They
Dude,
don't
yeah.
let anything out.
Yeah.
You ever look back there, there's like cars that have been on fire.
Dude, there's some stories back there.
Yeah, you think the car they get on fire, just they move it out. They're like, no, we're going to store that. That's a storage fee.
Dude.
That thing is charred.
Worth nothing. Dude,
Yeah.
they're gonna sell it. They're gonna get the
No, they're
abandonment.
just waiting to get paid the parking fee. They know what they're doing.
They know exactly
Like
what
a
they're doing.
forklift right through the windshield. They're using to pick it up, waiting for a tow company to come.
It's just absolutely total. That's so funny. So where can people find you for what are you taking on right now? Investors?
We call them
Investment
vehicle
funds?
partners.
Vehicle partners?
I always sway from the word investor because
Yeah.
we don't offer investment
Are you taking on
products.
vehicle partners?
Yeah, we take on vehicle partners right now. Yes, I would say I wouldn't say we're still onboarding the last 67 cars, whatever it was. We're just reassessing processes, making sure it's all good. If somebody comes to us with 100 car order right now, I'd probably be like, let's do 10. Let's like make sure everything fits. But I think we're good for another 100 in Phoenix.
Another 100?
Yeah, I think 300 cars is probably our sweet spot. I don't think it's any much bigger than that. That brings our cost down quite a bit.
You don't think you'll grow past that much more?
Not in Phoenix. I think it becomes logistical. Like, we're starting to feel the logistics on it right now at 200. It's like
that's a lot of cars.
It's a lot of movement.
But you're talking about 50% increase.
Yeah, if we get but like cost of storage will drop significantly. The cost per employee drops. Like there's like that sweet spot where I think we can be pretty profitable at 300 cars in our current location. Probably some learning curve there, but yeah, if you got paid off Teslas, the people who are trading their cars in, that's who we want to work with the most, because those people are easy transactions. They can come to us.
They see the most amount of revenue.
Well, I mean, like, there's 3 benefits: tax benefits, cash flow, and like the terminal value of the car. Right? If you already have a paid off car,
that's huge.
That car will make you, let's call it $1,500 a month, right? And we take $450. You'll make $1,000 passive. You wouldn't do anything. If that car gets in an accident, you're getting the ACV from Turo. You're going to get more than you would have ever gotten from trading the car in. So it's like a win-win in that regard. Yeah. Why would you lose on the trade-in? Go rent that car out. Maybe that will pay for maybe the car stays with us for 3 years and then goes over mileage and something happens, right? But like that, you would have overpaid the car off again.
Yeah.
That's like, $36,000. You could have bought another car. You know? So those trade-in people, if they're paid off or close to being paid off, those people are awesome. They love us.
Yeah, but they just make so much money.
They're just, they could not believe, like some guy, I think he's going to be giving us a Model S recently. It's 2019, 75D.
Yeah.
His car payment's like $400 a month, $330. I'm like, he's like, will it make money? I'm like, it'll be fine. You have no issues. Like, even if on bad months, he's going to be cash flowing like a decent amount. It almost like, when it's that good, it makes me want to do the profit sharing again. Because I'm like, I want 50% of his profits.
Yeah.
Like that's a baller. So those people, I think that will be a good segment to grow on. That's what the YouTube's mostly going to be made for, I guess, for us. Like our EV Access YouTube channel we made. I mean, the biggest thing is like customer education, obviously. But it's like the average person doesn't know how to invest at all, I would argue, right?
Yeah.
But like you're telling me if you are following the rules of society, you got your car paid off, you want to get a new car, the option to make your car an investment for a certain period of time, that might be the easiest.
From a liability to a
the cash flow, like
investment.
Yeah, it's like exactly, going from a liability to an investment. I think that's most people who do the trading stuff. I think it's their first taste of that. They've always worked for someone else. They've never had like a passive cash flow game.
Yeah.
And I think that opens to a lot of people's eyes, and they get really excited. They're like, "Let me buy 4 more cars." So it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Slow down. Let me show you. Let's see how the numbers pan out. Do you have what does your situation look like? Are you a high income earner? Does it even make sense to start investing? Like if you're making $60,000 a year, maybe not. If you're making $300K a year and you're just sitting on money, I'm gonna also refer you to my other friends. People who do commercial real estate, people who do a lot of stuff. Like, let's figure out the best solutions for you. It's not just gonna be cars.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Bitcoin people. Some people go 100% of Bitcoin. You could argue 5% of your net worth. That's safe. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess everybody in every situation is going to have a different plan that's most beneficial for them.
Yeah, but like EV Access on Turo, EV Access on YouTube, EV Access on Instagram. I think it's everything.
Damn, you got the one handle for everything?
Got the one handle for everything.
Wow.
I thought it would be like a more popular name, but apparently nobody likes it. So.
Email?
We could do info@evaccess.io. That's probably the best way to reach us. It will go to me, and then we have Jeff. He's like our great asset to our company. He'll be the person that kind of coaches you through the process, and I'll be the part of it if it's needed, but he'll help you out.
Yeah, okay. Sweet. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.
Peace.